Alright, so we're going to talk about what we call the trend following strategy. So the trend following strategy, what happened is negative market either in an uptrend or either in a downtrend, right? So here we have two types of markets that we know. The first one is in an uptrend or a bullish market, and then the second one is in a what? In a downtrend or a bearish market. So how do we recognize that this market is actually in an uptrend or bullish? So in a market which is in an uptrend is seen by the series of negative higher lows nema what nema higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and what and higher lows, right? So this is the market which is what which is in an uptrend. So trend rate isusu tinoriwanira pachi. So when you using this strategy, so trend rate tinoda kuona kuchi ku h4 ndokwa trend rate kuti are we going upwards or are we going downward from the what from the h4, right? So kana market yedu isusu iri ne what iri ne downtrend inenge ichitigadzira machi inotigadzira ma series of what of lower highs, a series of lower highs and series of what of lower lows, right? So this is the what this is the structure of the market which is in what in an uptrend. So chinatoda kuti tidzize nezvacho isusu tine chinhu chatinoti amount time frame alignment. So kana tiri ku h4, here we are on our h4, right? We are looking for the trend from the what from the h4 or 4-hour time frame anditika. So what happened is kuti kana tiri ku h4 isusu one run inoitika nemarket anenge arichi inenge iri another trend in the what in the lower time frame. So let's say for example tiri pa h4 panapa pakaitika one run ingobva here up to what up to here ku m15 kunenge kwaitika chi this trend inoita sei rinenge ragadzirwa. So zvinhu zvekuti munofanira kunge muchiita sei muchinzwisisa because zvinhu zvataita sei tirambashanda nazvo. So one run from the what from the h4 like here, we only have one run redu yatinayo panapa handitika. But look, this green lines which I put, they will represent achieve market from the what from the lower time frame, the M15, right? So one run from the higher time frame is another trend from the what from the lower time frame. One run from the what from the higher time frame is another trend from the what from the lower time frame. So yandiri kuti rani ndo for example kubva apa kusvika kubva right here, from right here up to where up to right here. So inenge chingonzi tinenge tichingoiti one run in the what in the higher time frame, but in the lower time frame look this is a what this is a trend. So the same applies pachi pa market in what in a downtrend. So one run yaitika from here up to here, it's a what it's another trend from the what from the lower time frame, for example the M15 atishandisandika. So zvinhu zvatoda sei zvatoda kuti batisise. So tapedza ipapo pane zvimwe zvinhu zvakakosha futi zvatoda kuti tese tizive nezvazvo. Tine chinhu chatinoti break of structure. So break of structure inoitika kana tiri in an uptrend kana a previous higher high ichinge yaitwa broken above nemarket inenge ita nechi panenge paitika inonzi iyo break of structure handitika. For example zvaitika right here handiti. So yatoitika inenge iri our break of structure inenge yaitika oro a BOS. So a break of structure or BOS actually happened. So inenge chingoita our trend ichita continue. Say for example again right here you can actually see this was our previous what higher it was broken above right here. So apa patoitika our a break of structure right here handitika. So break of structure yakakosha mufana ita sei mufana kubatisisa zvinhu izvozvo. And then toita chinhu chatinoti tine ma-strong highs nema-strong lows handitika. Tine ma-weak highs nema-weak lows. So yatinoti a strong low ilo yakaita sei inenge ichinzi strong low higher low. Why is it called a strong low? Because yakonzeresa kuti market ite break of structure above this what this previous higher high. So pa higher high apa panechi it's a resistance zone yekuti pane masellers aripo. Saka this low yaindusa more buyers akwanisa kuita sei kuti market break above here ichinoita sei ichinokonzeresa break of structure kuti itike. So inenge ichinzi a strong low, and this one inenge iri a weak low handitika, because yatadza kuita sei kuindusa price kuti inobreaka below the previous low. So inenge iri weak high. So this one becomes a what this one becomes a strong low again. Why? Because yaindusa break of structure yaitika panapa. This one becomes a what this one becomes a weak high because let us say yabreakwa nemarket, ndo mafamta zvinoichiita. And then the same applies tikauya kunoku kudowntrend, inenge iri a what, inenge iri a strong high. Why? Because yaindusa more sellers akakwanisa kunoita sei, akakwanisa kunobreaka structure iri pa lower low panapa. So this one becomes a weak low handitika. So that's how it actually operates handiti. Then last but not least, tine chimwe chinhu chakakosha, tine chinhu chinonzi change of character or CHOCH. This is one of the most important things. So a change of character inoitika way, a change of character inoitika, let's say tine market yedu inenge iri ne what, inenge iri let's just say the trend up, market yedu is in what, is in a downtrend, ugadzira ma higher highs nema higher lows, and then all of a sudden market over breaker below the previous higher what, the previous higher low, the previous lower high ratinenge tinaro. So kutobreaka kwayaita uku ndo kwanenge tichiti market yaita sei, paitika change of character. So we are changing our trend because tinoziva isusu kuti kana tiri ine what, kana tiri ine downtrend, market inofanira kugadzira ma series of what, series of lower highs ne lower lows. But in this scenario, our previous lower high have been broken by the market, so it becomes a what, it becomes a change of character. We are now shifting from what, we are now shifting from a downtrend to an uptrend. Ndakugadzira structure an uptrend. So zvinhu zvachita sei, tatichashandisa kakawanda futi patinenge takuita sei, takutora nezve our strategy handitika. So let's talk about it when we are in a what, in an upward direction handitika. So when you are in a bullish, let's say our market is forming higher highs and higher lows, it's a nice what, it's a nice bullish trend that inayo handitika, tine a bura natinayo, and then all of a sudden market yobva sei, yobva yabreaka previous higher low. So kubreakwa paitwa previous higher low uku ndo kwatiri kuti paitika a change of character. So apa pabreakwa a previous higher low apa ndo paitika change of character yacho handitika. So tinenge tichoti paitika sei, paitika change of character handiti. We are now changing from what, from an uptrend to a downtrend, ndo zvinenge zvichireva change of character yedu handitika. So right now makuziva zvinhu zvatatora nezvazvo, macandlesticks patterns dzatingatora nezvawo, formation yawo, zvinhu zvatagara ita sei tichitaura nezvazvo. So right now wanna talk about the what, wanna talk about the strategy ratiinaro nhasi, ratinoita sei, ratiri kuda kushandisa the strategy handitika. So strategy redu iri nderekuti let's say our market is in a what, our market is in an uptrend, there's a nice what, there's a nice bull run iri kuitika. So isusu tinozwisisa kuti market yedu kana iri in an uptrend hairambe ichingoenda in a straight line, it have to pull back. So isusu toda kutenga price yakachipa, so we wanna try to catch these pullbacks, toita sei topinda market yedu. So pairi kunoita pullback ndopadoita sei, ndopatiri kuda kunoita sei, kunopindira a buy what, our buy position. So this was our previous what, previous breakout structure yaitwa sei, yagadzirwa nemarket handitika. This was our previous BOS handitika, which is short for break of what, break of structure yaitwa sei, yaitwa our market handitika. So taona kuti paitika a break of structure, we are waiting for our market what, to actually pull back, but hatisina kuona market yedu ita sei ichibreaka below the what, the previous higher what. The market should not break below the previous what, the previous higher low, because if this happens, inenge a change of character, we are no longer interested in what, in taking a buy position. So we wanna see the market pulling back in either in this particular zone or kana pane ma areas of interest, for example my AVG supply, area of supply, etc. around what, around here. So this is what, this is how do we see kuti market ida kuita sei yakunoita a pullback. So tatora nezvedu tikati uku kune kuri kuchi tinenge tiri ku 4 hour time frame, uku tinenge tiri ku H4 handitika. So since uku tiri ku H4 tikaenda ku M15 kwedu tinenge tichiona kuti this one run iyi yanga iri a trend from the what, from the M15 handitika. From the M15 this was what, this was a trend. So from the from M15 this whole run iyi yaitika, tinenge tichiona something like this one, tinenge tichiona something like this handitika. So this is the structure tinenge tichiona kuti ku M15 we see a what, a clear nice trend handitika. So what happens kuti tione kuti zvishuwa market ida kutanga kuita pullback, toda kuona pachitika a change of character from the what, from the M15. So once the change character yaitika iri visible, we can now tell kuti this market is now in a what, is now trying to pull back handitika yakugadzira ichi yakugadzira a new particular trend handiti. So wanna see a change of character happening right here. So once a change of character yaitika, we can tell that this market is now trying to what, to pull back. But from the H4 it might be looking something what, like this. Chakutanga say chakutanga kuitika handitika. But from the M15 ndakutoona kuti ichi change of character vaya vanenge vada kutrade macounter trends ndo paunenge vakutoita sei, paunenge vakutopinda masell positions avo aya vanenge vachida kuita sei, vanotrade macounter trends avo vanenge vakutoita sei, vanenge vakutoona in what, in opportunity. But isusu what we need to do, we need to wait. Hatitoda kuita sei, hatitoda kuita dzungu handitika. So we need to wait for the market to actually what, form the new particular trend handitika. So tinozoziva sei kuti pullback yedu yaita come to an end. So pullback yedu kana yaita come to an end, inofanira kutigadzira futi ichi, inofanira kutigadzira a change of character. We now know kuti right now the market have now pulled back, and tikauya kunoku ku H4 inogona kuita something like this. Something like this, and then takuona a change of character yakuita sei, yakuitika handitika. So once takuona a change of character yakuitika, we now know kuti our market yakualana so our lower time frame M15 inenge yakualana nechi need the higher time frame, because overall in the higher time frame H4 three in what, three in a bullish trend. So inenge yakuita sei yakualana nechi in M15. So what you have to do, once you see this happening, a change of character yakuitika from the lower time frame, what are we gonna do? What you are going to do is we are going to what? We are going to take our buy position handitika. So it means we have to take our buy position. So takutoita sei, takutotora our nice long position from that particular what, from that particular level. Our target tinenge tichitargeta chi, our target level tinenge tichitargeta wachi, our previous high from the what, from the H4 time frame handitika. So without wasting any of your time, let's now get onto the chart, and I will actually show you what I'm talking about on the what, on the real chart handitika kuti zvinofamba sei. So here we have our 4-hour time frame, tiri pachatri card JPY handitika. So we can actually see that this market is particularly in a what, in a nice uptrend handitika. And then if you can actually look here, this was our previous what, this was our previous strong what, strong low handitika. This was our previous strong low, which even been broken by the market handitika. So if you can actually look, we can see with our target area is actually what, is actually way above right here handitika. Ndo kunechi our most recent what, our most recent high handiti. So what are you gonna do right now? So what are you gonna do? We are going to go to the what, the M15. So this one run, it should look like a trend from the M15 and this like this one run should look like a what, like a trend. A run in a higher time frame is a trend in a what, in a lower time frame handitika. So if you can actually come right here, we can see this was a what, this was a nice downtrend which was being formed by the what, by the market handitika. So our previous high which induced this breakout structure is actually right here. So wanna see price it closer above right here for us to take our buy entry handitika. So once you see price it closer above right here, so that we can actually say this market is now pulling back. So once if it doesn't do that, we don't take any trade handitika. So we simply wait, and remember, when you are doing this thing, patience is the what, patience is the key handiti. So we just need to look for that change of character to happen. So if you can look like if you can look right here, we can see the change of character actually happened right here handiti. Change of character etika right here. So what I'm gonna do, we are going to take our what, our buy position handiti. We are taking our buy position right here, and then we target our what, our last high handiti. So where is it, our last high? Alright, so if you can target up there, I think the risk reward ratio is too much, but yeah, it's worth it. It's actually 1:8. So just increase our stop loss a bit so that to give you some space to breathe. and we let it go. So this is one of the strategies that I actually use to trade, and it doesn't win all the time, but most of the time it will be hitting TPs, but not all of the time. Sometimes it's hit the stop loss. It's part of trading. You know that we need to allow the losses because it's part of the game, right? So you can actually see how nice this is actually what this is actually playing right now, right? So you got to allow the drawdowns, you got to allow those things because that's part of what? That's part of trading, right? So if you hit a stop loss, so what? You just need to check another trade which analyzes it what with the trading setup. So you can actually see how nice the market is actually moving using that what simple strategy. So if you can actually look right here, we are already our risk reward ratio is 1:5 we are using. So if you can actually look right here, we are already 1:1. So that's why I like to take my partials. I can take my partials because this type of trade that you can actually hold for weeks. So you need to be strong when it comes to emotions because this strategy it gives you a long trades. It's for swinging, not for scalping. So you can actually see how nice the market is at. The market is actually moving, and we are using the simple strategy which I actually taught you, right? So you can actually see above here there's another breakout structure happening from the M15, and you can actually see a retest on the moving average. So if you're someone who like adding positions, this is a nice point to be adding your only positions, right? So you can actually see, look how it's playing, look how it's playing. So these are the things. It's actually easy to trade if you know what you're looking for from the chart. So there's nothing complicated right here. You can actually look, we are almost on our TP, right? We're almost on our TP. All right, so let it move, let it move. So almost on our TP, and already we are somewhere like what? We are somewhere like 1:4 this reward ratio, which means if you're risking $100, you're aiming to make $400. If you're risking 1,000, we're aiming to make 4K, right? So we are almost there on our. And these type of trades are not type of trade that a normal person can actually take. You need to have a solid strategy, a solid understanding. You can use this strategy whether you're trading synthetics, whether you're trading currencies, whether you're trading stocks, whether you're trading crypto. This strategy actually works most of the time. It doesn't work all of the time, but most of the time it actually works, and it gives you what? Profitability. So this is the strategy which I have to talk about today, which is a trend pullback strategy. So this is the golden strategy, and I developed it personally. So there are a lot of things you need to keep into mind, like you need to learn supply, demand, etc. So if you want to get most of the strategy, you simply need to join the mentorship, and I will teach you personally how you can what manage to create this type of setups, right? So you can see almost on our TP, but a little bit, the pullbacks. So like I said, you need to have strong emotions because that's trading, right? Trading does that. So look, almost on our TP, and then it did this pullback, which is actually nice, right? But we are almost there on our TP. But if you're someone you would already have closed, maybe it's around 1:3, 1:4 whatsoever, I don't know, ndionoziva panogutira. So paunenge wangofila kuti aiwa the man that I have actually made is now enough, you can actually what close your trades, right? So there's no way, there's not like always you need to wait for your trade to hit your TP. No, it doesn't work that way. Sometimes you just say, nah, I'm good, I don't want I have made enough money, I don't want to risk it anymore, and then you can actually close the trades and you can check your profit because sometimes the market will just go close to a TP and they need to start to do the whoop wash, right? Some sort of the things like the market is now ranging like it is doing right now, but like I said, you need to have patience when using this strategy because you can actually hold your trades for days, not hours or minutes. This is a swing trading strategy and it works best on any trading pair. Whether you're trading gold, whether you're trading stocks, synthetics, whatsoever, I don't know what you'll be trading, but this strategy always works because the market reacts the same. So you're actually seeing like the market is playing around our TP because they know that's where most people are putting their TP. The market, before it targets this particular high, it needs to make sure that it has taken out all the seller, all the buyers, I mean, which are in this market. That's why the market is playing the way it is actually doing right now. You understand? So the TP is acting as a what? As a magnet to the market. The market doesn't just want to reach the TP yet, but it will start to play along the TP, shaking out all the early buyers out of the market. If you're not strong, maybe you end up to buy trade here and you put a stop loss right here, and it was it. Like just like that, our TP is hit. 1:4 risk reward ratio have been made. So as simple as this is how you can actually trade profitably using this what? This simple strategy. So if you actually wanna make more money and you wanna learn how to catch this type of setups, how to trade like this, you need to consider joining the mentorship. You need to consider taking mentorship. As I always say, you don't need more money, you simply need more knowledge and more skill.